Welcome to Chalk and Champagne, the podcast where we tell the truth about education.
After the buildings. We're two black women, educators, leaders, and school owners who've lived every side of this work.
This space is for educators, parents, and anybody wanting the real about what's happening inside schools.
We're talking burnout, leadership, boundaries, advocacy, all the things people whisper about in the staff lounge.
We love kids deeply,
but we're not going to lie to you.
So grab your wine,
or better yet, upgrade your taste.
Grab your champagne,
and let's get into it.
What's up, Toya?
Hey, Shay.
What's going on, my girl?
This is crazy. This denim is a bit crazy.
It's real crazy. So, just full transparency, we have a little thing on our computer where we share our drive, and we put in our week's episode and like the color scheme and whatever, but we never know what each other one's gonna wear. So I put in denim. However, she got on a jumpsuit, I got on a little vest and some high-waisted, but the shoes, like,
they thick. It's funny. Like, this is crazy.
So don't think we try to be dressed alike, because believe me, I mean,
twins. That's who we're twins. Taurus twins.
Taurus.
Yeah, Taurus twins.
Hey, let's drink to that, because what sign is it? What month is it? It's about to be our what?
What's the number one zodiac sign?
Taurus.
So Taurus gang in this mug. May 10th.
May 20th. I'm the last day.
The last day. Taurus/Gemini.
Girl, don't
do that.
No, please. Nothing against the Geminis, but speaking of Geminis, I had a couple boyfriends that was Geminis. I would never.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Hey.
I ain't gonna listen.
I'm never dating another Gemini. I think I had about 3, and they was all the same.
Yeah,
so,
Taurus is like a solid sign. So like I feel like when you piss a Taurus off, you have really, really done it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even biased. Like, that's what the people will tell you. So I'm just going off of what
I feel like Taurus. Like, I can speak for myself. Like, I'm really sweet, but I think I misjudge, because I have this resting face, and when I actually like connect with a person, they always be like,
"We'll cut."
The fuck?
What happened? In real life, like, we got kids in the studio, like, it is what it is.
Yes. But. Right. But when I connect with the person, they always be like, "Oh my gosh, you are really nice. I just thought you was going to be so mean." I'm like, well, I get that all the time. Like, I really do, but I am a nice, genuine person. The bull come out if you allow, if you piss me off.
It's like that.
It's going to come out, but I'm really nice, though.
She's really sweet. She's sweet. Sweet Shay Shay.
I mean, Toya's sweet, too. Like, we bonded. It's crazy how we met.
We got to tell that story. It's a good story, though.
It's a good story.
I'm happy it happened.
I know.
I do want to tell you that you don't see Crutch in the studio. Crutch is gone.
Good. How's your knee healing?
Crutch is gone. I got my stitches taken out. I don't know if I had them taken out last time, but stitches are gone.
Okay.
Physical therapy starts tomorrow, so I'm back jigging on the couches soon. Coming soon to a couch near you.
She for real though. She is
dead
for real.
Ass. So okay.
Well, I'm glad your knee is healing and you're doing better.
Yeah.
But
we gotta get ready for the Taurus bash. So
we got to get ready because it's Taurus season.
Yeah. So you ready?
I'm ready. What we talking about today?
So today we're talking about, and this is something that I really, really, really like hold near and dear. I say every episode. About it. Okay. Advocating for kids without losing your job.
So what does that look like? I mean, when we say without losing your job, because I automatically go to a negative connotation when you say that part.
So for me, I think how you advocate matters. I don't ever want it to be a situation where I'm calling out a teacher directly, either in front of a student or behind the scenes, because there's obviously two sides to every story. But I think sometimes children don't quite know how to advocate for themselves. They haven't been necessarily taught the strategies when you're not at home or whatever the case may be. But sometimes they need people to speak up for them because there is a disconnect somewhere. Maybe the student is being disrespectful, whatever that
Or
looks
maybe
like.
you. So is it like when you say advocate, meaning you saw something in the hallway and you felt like that teacher was wrong? So how do you advocate? Like, do you like, because some people be like, well, I just want to stay in my place. I already don't like that teacher.
Yeah.
I don't want to, like that's not my place. Like, what do you do? Do you go to the counselor? Do you go to your principal? Like, actually, I'm asking real questions because what do you do? Because I never really like, and I'll talk about it, but again, like.
So what that looks like for me, what I would do is, it depends on the situation, but I've had a situation, I'll tell the story in a second, where I've had to either pull the teacher to the side or say, hey, such and such says that I noticed what happened in the hallway. Like, it may be worth like revisiting. I'm just saying because X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C, depending on the situation. I've had a student come up to me. I worked in a middle school, so you know how kids they're going through like life changes, puberty is happening, they're finding themselves in middle school. Mm-hmm. So it's a little different from the elementary aspect for me because those students are more vocal. They're not as, I want to say scared, they're not as timid around teachers as they have been in the past.
Yeah.
Everything that teachers everything a teacher can do sometimes may get under a kid's skin, or everything a kid may do sometimes may get under the teacher's skin. So what is that balance? So sometimes being the champion for the kid or the advocate for the kid, saying, hey, this is going way too far. You know what I'm saying? And so administrators typically know which teachers have the shorter fuse.
Yep.
Administrators and teachers also know which kids have the shorter fuse.
When you advocate for your kids in the past, was it when you were a principal or a classroom teacher?
Both. Sometimes a teacher will come tell you, and as an administrator, a teacher come tell you a story, and you're like, you were wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you have to say, well, I would ask the question, okay, what could you have done differently? Okay, what words could you have used and maybe not set that student off like that? Okay, let me tell you a little bit of a backstory that you may not have known, and I don't hold you accountable for that, but now that you know, like, how do you rectify the situation? So those are the questions that I would ask as an administrator, as an assistant principal. Those are some of the questions that I would ask my teachers if there was something that happened. As an administrator, I would intervene. If there's a teacher arguing with a student, it's like, oh, what's going on here? What's happening? What's going on? But as a teacher, it's like, okay, I'm a disruptor by nature. So I always think about my children in situations, and sometimes kids just don't know the words to use. They get mad, they frustrated. You always picking on me, and emotions, things like that. What does that look like in elementary school, though?
That's a good question. So in elementary, if I can remember, I was that teacher where I built relationships with my kids, right? I didn't necessarily have to advocate for them in that way because I feel like at that time we had a lot of teachers who was trying to do what's best for kids, right? We had a few who weren't, but I always went back to a culture thing for me, right? Because that's what you did in your house, or you weren't allowed to do that in your house, doesn't mean Johnny can't do it in his house. So you got to remember that. So the kid may not be disrespectful, right? It's just this is how he was raised in his home, right? Or like I remember advocating for kids at a time in elementary school. We were a PBIS school, so if you know what that means. But at that time, the kids had to wear uniforms. And I remember a teacher, she was so always on the kid because they didn't have no uniform. And she wrote the kid up all the time. So I remember saying, because you have the money, does not mean that parent has the money.
That's advocating, yes.
So you're mad because she's wearing some tights that got stripes in it, talking about she's out of uniform? I mean, sometimes kids like to show up and they're, be creative. They got to wear uniforms. Well, let me do something different
for my uniform to make me stand out.
Yeah. So for me, I remember advocating, but as I moved in different positions, my advocacy looked different. Right?
Yeah.
So it was.
So a district coach.
Yes.
You were a district.
Yes, I was a district coach, district curriculum coach. And so now I'm looking at things holistically. I'm looking at scores. I'm looking at data. I'm building walkthroughs, evaluations, and I understand. I'm like, I'm seeing why this data is the way it is.
Yeah.
I'm going inside these high school classrooms and seeing that they giving second grade work, right? So my advocacy looks different because now I'm about to hold the teacher accountable. Like, you're not sticking to the curriculum, you're not teaching the standards correctly, and that's not what's best for kids because our kids got to graduate.
Yes.
And they're not ready. They're not ready for the real world.
Yeah. So how do you advocate? I mean, you have to hold this. How does a student perform if you're not teaching them the content?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So advocacy can look a lot. It looks different in different roles.
Cut that. But it looks a lot different.
It looks a lot different, and it can look different. And I just say, I believe we have great teachers, we have great buildings. We have to keep showing up for our kids, and I don't think. First, I don't think nobody gonna lose their job right now because it's a shortage in teachers, right?
So, and stay there. You just work to do better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like there's a shortage in teachers. But I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Why do teachers have to choose between doing right by kids and protecting their livelihood? Like, because
that's a great question.
Sometimes, and I get there's probably some really bad situations out there where a teacher did advocate for a kid and it went left.
Yeah, because you're speaking up against the system, and the system can look like teachers not doing what's right for kids, administrators not doing what's best for kids. I would say the people that are making the behavior guides is not doing what's best for kids.
Right.
Like, you don't really have a chance to do what's best for kids if you're supposed to follow this behavior guide, right? So it's difficult. I think that you have to be strategic. I think it's a very important. You have to think about it before you act. So I've always come back to the situation. Like, I've seen this. I told Johnny, I saw what happened. Like, let me just think through it. Let me work on how to, talk with that teacher. But would you be okay with having a conversation with Mrs. Such and Such as long as she, what I'm saying? Would you be okay with it? And 9 times out of 10, that kid will say yes. Mm-hmm. So I've had, not mediation, but if there's a butting of the heads all the time, it's not always a teacher. Sometimes it's a student. Sometimes it's a student. So I'm aware of that. This is not one of those, the teacher's always wrong. It's just, how do you have a conversation with a student that you can move? Now you can step outside of yourself as the adult and move past whatever it is. If you sit down with a student and have that conversation, you're going to be like, dang, such and such really kind of care, you know what I'm saying, about me, because the real you comes out, if it's just you and that student. I've had those. Of course, as an administrator, I would step in immediately, but having those conversations with those teachers, role playing, that's something that I've done. Let me role play disrupting your classroom so you can keep your composure when that happens, because Buddy gonna disrupt your classroom. It's who he is. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be able to step outside yourself and realize it's not about you.
But I think sometimes it can. I do see your point. I understand your point. But to play devil's advocate, if I'm the teacher and I may feel like you're always taking up for this child, right? And I'm lacking the support that I need. Mm-hmm. What does that look like? Because if you're always taking up for this one child and you say it's advocacy and you're going to protect this child because you know what this child needs, but this child is just not doing what he should be doing in my classroom.
Yeah.
And then I'm the teacher who needs this support. I'm going to tap out. I'm ready to leave this school. So what does it look like in that instance?
Yeah. So that's a good question, and that has happened. And not necessarily to that capacity, but it's okay, I'm not going to talk to the teacher a second time. It could just be the one time, and I'm not going to go back. But what I would do is, hey, Shay, when you go into this classroom, I need you to sit down, take out your pencil, and do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to come check on you. And if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, we can eat lunch together. I'm bribing sometimes kids to just spend time, outside of whatever. And then it's hey, Miss Smith, how did Shay do in class today? I've been working on her, been talking to her about just going in there, shutting up, sitting down, doing what she's supposed to be doing. How did she do? Oh, she did fine. Okay, so it's a lot of the times the kid is very bullheaded, essentially.
Yeah. And
they want to piss that teacher off. And it's hey, you cannot do that. Go do this, this, and this. That's a goal for the day. It's to go in there, do this, this, and this. Even if she said something you don't like, she knows the content. She knows how to read, babe. you need to learn, you know what I'm saying, how to learn these strategies. So sometimes it's a matter of like making a deal with the student, you know?
I see that. I just know, like, I have seen teachers who just feel like they weren't supported
Yeah.
by their administrator and things like that.
So what does support look like if a teacher keeps not bumping heads, but if it seems like the teacher and a student, not necessarily the same student, but if the teacher is struggling with relationship building and keeps bumping heads and having these like rifts with kids, like what could support look like for the student or the teacher?
Well, for me, I think if I were administrator, I probably would start with the teacher first, and I wouldn't single the teacher out, but I would try to do some building activities and some meetings, right? So in PLCs today, before we get started, let's do a little character test,
I like that.
right, for 5 minutes.
I like that.
And then try to see, have the teacher to see what he or she is doing wrong. And sometimes they don't want to reflect, and I get it, but it's me going inside their classroom more often, actually being inside their classroom, not to do evaluations or walkthroughs, but just let me
what's going on.
Let me see what's going on, and let me give you some positive things to say about your classroom, or in that very moment, so coachable things to say, be like, hey, you probably should have said it this way, because now did you see the face on this child's, the emotions on this child's face because you said it like this? So just being present and actually being with that teacher to help that teacher kind of change their mindset.
That was more like, for me, that sounds like me as an instructional coach.
Yeah, so I put my coach's lens on.
Yeah.
And I try to first build those relationships because that's number one. I'm not, I don't want to come in and evaluate.
Yes, I am your peer.
But at the same time, the other part is like,
do better.
Like, this data sucks. Like, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do better because at the end of the day, we're raising these kids.
Yeah.
Like, we have to teach them. We're going to get old one day.
Yep, and they're going to have to take care of us.
Like, I mean, I know AI is taking over, but still, we need somebody to run AI. Like,
facts. I'm going to have some robot children.
Right.
Take care of me.
Yeah.
So, here's the line. Like, if you're advocating in a way that's effective and it's working for you, I of course, will continue to advocate. But I also think if you're not...
Be respectful, though. Like, in a respectful manner.
Yes, because I always feel like if this were me, I would not want somebody to come and say, Toya, you're wrong. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. So I would always think about, it's like,
And when I think, and just don't make it seem like you're complaining. Like, I am solution driven. So I get we all have concerns. So if you're going to advocate, continue to advocate, but come with a solution as well, But you have to have a strategy, the awareness and intention. That's that solution-driven part that I was just talking about.
And as a coach, it's interesting because I can say, your students are not learning. What do you think the barrier is?
And they don't want to see that part.
Like,
they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, this is your data. So that's as an instructional coach, it's like there's a barrier that exists, and it's not all the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's not all the kids.
And that's a way of advocating for kids right there by having them see themselves like the teacher looking at their data.
Yeah.
So you can advocate for kids, and it's going to look different. It might be emotional, it might be the curriculum, it might be academics, but what way are you showing up for your kids?
Yeah.
And how are you going to advocate for your kids?
Yeah. So it's a mindfulness conversation, essentially. You have to be, one of the interview questions is always like, how are you a reflective practitioner? Like, you always have to think about what you're putting out, looking at your scores, looking at your data, thinking about the relationships. Do your kids like coming in the classroom?
And think about how you build your relationships outside of school, because we tend to take what we do at home to our work space, right?
Yep. And they do too. They do too.
You do. So
that's a
be
good
mindful of those things.
Okay, I like that.
Like that.
Mindfulness. I like your lip color. It's pretty.
Thank you. I actually is wearing the lip bar from Target.
Okay.
I love it. Someone had it on, and I was like, "What is this?"
It's cute.
You don't do color.
I eat the color off of my lips, so that's a little bit about me. I will sit here and
I'm not eating the color off your lips,
I will eat it off. So
baby, I love me some lip gloss, some color. Speaking of color, I used to wear like color nails, but I stopped wearing color. I love color nails. So shout out to all the girls that do color. So,
I like them too.
but lately for a whole year, I've been doing this ombre look.
It's pretty too.
But it goes with Thank you. It goes with everything. So, and then when I need a fill in, you can't really
You can't
tell.
That's why you gonna see French tips or ombre on me because
I love the ombre.
Yeah.
It's so neutral.
Yeah.
It's so subtle and like, but for time to time, I will do like a color lip. But I like the nude lip too.
I love it. If you zoom in on the nails, but I I love that. I tried an ombre last time. It didn't look like that. Yours was cuter, but I went back to French. So, all right. So it's one of my favorite segments. It's time for Shay Shay's Class Clown of the Day. Last time you surprised me and we did something different. So I don't know if we're doing something different or not, but now it's time for everybody. It's my favorite segment, but I think it's the people's favorite segment too. It's time for Shay Shay's Class Clown of the Day.
This is where we highlight the mess. I got choked up because I'm really excited about today. This is where we highlight the mess, the moments, and the things that make you say, now, why would you do that? Whether it's a teacher, a parent, or the system itself.
All right, so watch this. Let's get into it.
Okay, so I always like to change things up. So last week we did what would you do? So today is a little bit different. I received this text message today. I was like, oh, I could put that in today's Class Clown of the Day. So I'm gonna ask you, what would you do? So apparently, or allegedly, an Arkansas teacher.
Arkansas, stand up, I guess. Maybe not. Don't sit down.
An Arkansas teacher told a student, "I'm not your bruh, I'm your sir." When the kid replied, "My bad, lil' bruh," the teacher allegedly choked him.
No. He was that mad.
He was that mad. And it's funny because, first of all, the teacher allegedly choked him. Now, let's be clear, before we even get into it, there is never a reason for a grown-up in a school building to put their hands on a child.
Ever. Nah.
Because they're mad or angry.
Nah.
Like, ever. Don't you ever put your hands on another kid. But why do adults get so mad at the word bruh? Like, I remember I had a supervisor who was like, her daughter called the teacher bruh, and the daughter got suspended. And she was mad at her daughter. I was like sitting in the car, I was like, you mad about bruh? Like, it's just the language that the kids use. So, like, I got a question. What would you do if you were the teacher in that moment? Like, forget allegedly the teacher choked the kid. But if a kid said bruh and you asked the kid to stop, like, what would you do in that moment? Because that's crazy.
I wouldn't choke him. Let's start there. I wouldn't choke him. I'm a sarcastic being, so a lot of the times I say don't call me bro, you call me bro. I'm like, so you just gonna keep doing what I asked you not to do. All right, I got you. Like, I'm just it don't be. I probably
it's not that serious. Don't call me bro. Like, I probably would have never. They didn't call you the B word. Yeah. They didn't curse you out. Like,
that's interesting. My kid, it's so crazy. Bro. I'm like,
and I have to remind RJ, like, I'm not your bro, but I'm not getting mad. Like, I know he's trying to be hip because that's what he's saying at school. Like, let me see what I can say to my mama.
Yeah. But that's interesting. I feel like Buddy needs some, he should be locked up, but Buddy needs...
he should lose his doggone license.
Yeah,
Fuck being locked up, shit. You done. Like, you done. You put your... I'm sorry, but you put your hands on my kid, I'm finna sue the district.
It's like that for you, though, too.
No, fuck that. I'm suing the district.
And it's like that for you. Listen, let me put this down. I'm just saying.
Why you talking about this?
He needs some serious, like... What else have you been pissed off about? If that pisses you off, then you live a sad life. Like, what brings you joy? If that little bit of
now you gotta get an attorney, right?
You got an assault charge,
like, because now you
on a minor. On a minor.
And I know sometimes these kids be pissing y'all off. I get it. I understand. I lived through it. Like, I get it. I know. But there's a lot of more cases like this where...
Yeah, this ain't the only one.
This not the only one, but this just so happened to get out on social media, right? Mm-hmm. But...
Bro, sis.
And I know disrespect happens every single day at school. I get it. I understand. But you could not put your hands on nobody's kids. And you choke. You didn't. You choke. Like, what?
I think the disrespect thing kills me. You put your hands on somebody because they said a word you didn't like. Like, who's the adult here? And then when the kids start working you against the wall, then what? Like,
right. So, but as the adult, your job is to stay in control. So let's probably talk about what the teacher from Arkansas should have done.
Okay.
Instead of like getting that upset at the word, bro. Mm-hmm. I mean, first of all, I don't care how upset you are. You should never choke anybody's kid.
Hands off of kids.
If the student said, "My bad, little bro," the teacher could have done a few things. Okay. Pause. Take a breath. Sometimes I tell my son, count to 10. Woosah. Redirect the student. Mm-hmm. That's one. Write the student up.
I hate that one.
But if I would have did that instead of choking,
you're right. I'm
gonna write you up.
As an administrator, I've been like, enough. Like, no.
Girl, this thing got me hot now, right? I'm already drinking and not reading this from Arkansas. Like, you got me hot. Call administration. Have the student removed. That should have been number one. Like, have the student removed.
Are you that? Okay, Shay, imagine being an administrator.
Girl, you get that
call. Ronnie just called me, bro. You gonna have to come get him. If you don't get off my phone.
I had an administrator once who said, for every phone call I receive, I don't need a teacher.
Yeah. And
that's true. Like,
say more about that.
But this is a little different case because...
I got mad. I got a drink. Go ahead. Say more.
You, like, if you felt... for me, sometimes when I get really angry, I thought that was a lie as a kid, like watching movies and you see the steam coming out of the ears.
Boiling up.
Oh my gosh, you feel
my ears get hot.
My ears get hot.
Yep, that's my thing.
So you could have like control yourself, and maybe this profession is not for you because you cannot put your hands on anybody's kids. Now, it did not say what age the kid was. I can only imagine it's probably middle school or 5th grade, right, or high school.
Yeah, somewhere up.
I mean, you got some little kids that's like that, but not a lot, right? But for you to put your hands on somebody else's kid, and I'm not saying, look, we do not condone any of this. Mm-mm. Okay, I'm not saying hands, but you choked. Like, that was the first thing that came to your mind.
You're gonna have to see me about that one, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine
a parent, though. So, I mean.
Violence does not beget violence.
Like, so that class clown of the day goes to that male teacher in Arkansas.
Yeah, you a clown, bud.
You beyond a clown. Yeah. Like, I hope you get your,
Yeah, just sit where you at. Just sit.
So I'm going to ask the audience some questions. If you're standing nearby and saw this happen, what would you do? We would like for you guys to, call in. Write in to us.
Join our group chat. We can talk about it.
Join our group chat. We can talk about it. Like, what would you do? If you saw a student disrespectful and pushing your buttons, would you pause? Would you call for help? Would you send them out? Would you write them up? We would like to know, what would you do?
Okay. I like that.
So at Chalk&Champagne, we keep it real. Students should be respectful. Teachers should be respected. But no level of disrespect from a child should ever end in violence from an adult.
Agreed.
Handle the behavior, follow protocol, and protect the child and protect yourself. That's what professionalism looks like.
I like that.
Yes. So I wanted to end with that because that was really heavy.
No, it was. Still a little mad, but I'm gonna move on. So, You know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time for Blackboard Confessions.
And you say Shay Shay's Class Clown or Day Day is your favorite part. No, this is my favorite part. Blackboard Confessions. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear it.
She don't we don't share these segments with each other because we want the response to be organic. So she has no idea. Just like I had no idea about her, she has no idea what I'm finna say. But this one's a little meaty. Okay. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Toya. I want to thank you all for watching our show. Before we get into the juicy mess of Blackboard Confessions, I want you to subscribe to our show, Chalk and Champagne. So hit that like button, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Blackboard Confessions is where teachers, parents, and students send in their real stories, anonymous, unfiltered, and a little messy, but always education-based.
Where the truth comes out.
No names, no schools.
Just honesty.
And it's unfiltered and unapologetic. So let's get into it. This one talks about I've snapped at a student and regretted it, but not immediately after.
That's crazy. It goes with it.
Yeah, it's literally what we just talked about. But she ain't choke him out. But
this is a Blackboard Confession, so this happened for real.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it to you. I snapped at a student and regretted it, but it's not immediate. But not immediately after. I'm a good teacher. At least I think I am. I show up early, plan my lessons, check on students. But this year's been different. I have one student who tests my gangster every single day. Talking while I'm talking, walking around the room, laughing when redirected, pushing every boundary like it's a game. And I've done everything I'm supposed to do. So before we say, have you built a relationship? She said she has redirected, built relationships, called home, documented, and stayed calm. Sis said one day she just snapped. It wasn't like a loud yell across the room. It was a direct control but cutting. I said to this kid, at some point, you have to decide if you actually want to learn or if you're here to just waste everybody's time. The room went silent. He looked at me for the first time all year. He didn't say anything back. And in that moment, I did not feel bad. I feel her. I felt relieved, like finally somebody said it. Like I had taken my power back. I went on teaching like nothing happened. No apology, no check-in, nothing. But later, the room was empty and I felt bad. Did I finally reach him or did I shut him down completely?
You felt bad because of that?
I guess, babe. I don't know what kind of relationship she got with these kids. I wonder what grade this was.
Man, I used to say some crazy stuff to kids. Nothing like that I would end up in a, principal office but I had a relationship with them. So I said some crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. She felt bad about that?
It's sometimes where if you're like the really sweet teacher and you so like for us, it's like we are not that. We're sweet. Okay, don't get us wrong. But sometimes, how I have a teacher. I had a teacher in elementary school was the sweetest teacher. It's like grandma teacher. It's like if somebody say something to you out the way, it immediately hurts your feelings because they're always sweet.
But she just had she was tired that day. So I don't think you did anything wrong, but you didn't choke the kid.
Baby, you did not listen. Where she come? I always forget where they coming from. Kansas City, Kansas, but it will just say Kansas City.
Kansas City. I don't.
She's not out of Arkansas. She's not choking kids, so it's kind of crazy.
But before you get to the advice, let me tell you a situation.
Okay.
So I remember, I did say crazy stuff, but it wasn't crazy like that.
Not crazy, but
it was. Let me give you some examples. It would be like, girl, you could go home and do that dance. Don't do that dance up in here because right now we learning because we need to learn these sight words because last time I checked, I ain't gonna say it out loud, but you remember. So I did stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't embarrass a kid, but I put them in a place like I'm in control. But I remember one time. I taught second grade, and we had the buddy system in our classroom, in our school. So I think we had fifth grade as a buddy room. So a fifth grade kid would always come in my room. And I was always, I was that teacher. I had great classroom management. I built relationships, all the good stuff, right? This particular day, so I would tell kids, you black, you already got 2 strikes against you. If you're a boy, being black and a boy, you can't act like this. So I kept it real a lot. But this particular day, I did feel bad. Let me tell you why.
Oh, Jesus, did you choke him?
No.
Then baby, you good.
I would have lost
Next,
my
no, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I ain't putting my hands on nobody's kids. However, I forget his name, and we can't say their name anyways, right? But this particular day, he was in my class for recess, and I didn't have any kids in there, and I'm like getting lessons prepared for the kids to come back, and I will never forget this. It stuck with me, y'all. So that I know I felt bad, and I end up apologizing, but it was like, ugh. So I was like, if you don't get it, like, he was always in trouble. So I was like, if you don't get it together, you're going to find yourself working at McDonald's for the rest of your life. And don't get me wrong, everybody that work at McDonald's, we don't, like, they could be the manager, they could be the owner, so there's nothing wrong with that. I thought I was trying to tell him, like, you should want more out of life. But that's where I made a mistake, and I can own it.
What happened? His mama working at McDonald's?
He did this. And I was like, what you do that for? He was like, my mama work at McDonald's. And I was like,
sure she's great, baby.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, like, I want more for
Wendy's
you. Like, so I get, as I put myself in her shoes, like, I get what old baby's saying from Kansas City. But, like, I didn't know I was stepping on his toes. So I'm just being transparent, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, I apologize to the kids. So, yes, we do need to be mindful of what we say and how we say it. But, you know, yeah.
To me, it would be like, okay, there are worse situations. But I wanted to put that in there because it prompted this conversation where it's like, where have we, when was a time where we kind of, that was a big deal to her to even write that.
There was. But, so I don't want to minimize her feelings or things like that, so I do apologize for that.
No, you're fine. It just, for me, it's like, okay, when was the time for you? You just shared it. For me, JJ, you could do a lot of JJ in the world, so it doesn't matter. But JJ, I remember I was 8th grade science. Have I told this story before? I may have told you this story, but it was a time where all the kids had iPads. They had iPads with a little keyboard. So we were supposed to be studying or putting together our presentation for our science fair. So JJ was watching the damn NBA game that happened yesterday. Just watching the game, and I went by there and I was like, "Hey, like, you know, you need to be working. You need to be working on your slides or whatever." But like, what's up? And he was like, okay, I'm gonna get to it. And I love JJ. I still do. Like, I love him, but I lost my shit. So I was circling back around because I'm not gonna sit at my desk. I'm like, I gotta make sure, because behind them screens, you don't know what's going on. And so I'm circling back around. He on the computer again. I said, JJ, meet me in the hallway, man. Like, come on, dog. Like, I just told you.
You said it like that, or did you really say it like, was you loud?
Not yet.
Okay.
I said, hey, man, I always say, hey, man, just meet me in the hallway. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we can just have a conversation, because I don't want to, like, embarrass you in front, because then you're going to give it back to me, and you can, whatever.
Right.
So he in the hallway. I said, hey, like, what's up? Like, I just told you, da-da-da. I said, I'm going to let you work out here. Close that thing. I come back outside in the hallway. He is on YouTube watching the NBA clips. I said, let me have your NBA. I said, let me have your iPad, and I'm gonna let you do it on paper. He said, this is gonna be some cuss words, so you can bleep if you need to. But he's like, man, this is some bitch shit. And I was like, you wanna know what some bitch shit is?
Oh, you said that?
I did. I literally didn't know how to respond, because I've never had a kid talk to me crazy. I wrote like 3 office referrals in my whole life. I did not even write this one up. I marched my ass to the office. I'm cussing again, sorry. Marched to the office, and I was like, Dr. Such and Such, this is what I said.
We do not condone you cursing.
We do not condone that. No, that was not cool. I just lost it. I lost it. And I said, Dr. Such and Such, this is what I said. I'm not proud. It was 12 o'clock. I said, I can leave now. I would, don't walk me out of here at 3.
You're removing yourself from the situation.
Don't walk me out of here. I left my class. Like, y'all self-sufficient. I said, don't walk me out of here at 3 o'clock.
Toya,
don't let me say today.
You said, let me go ahead.
I said, I can go ahead and leave now.
HR is supposed to walk you out. He would have to do a lot.
Right? I just wasn't sure. I said, I go ahead and leave now. You know what I'm saying? She was like, go on back to class. I said, okay. I talked to JJ. I said, JJ, let me tell you something. I am so sorry. Like, I think I was just triggered in that moment, because I never had a kid, or let alone, like, in my adult life, anybody talk to me like that. And I've always, I'm always going to be, like, kid rah-rah for kids. So for him to talk to me like that, like I wanted to like,
You wanted to
give it to him. I wasn't gonna choke him though.
Yeah,
And
no
so,
choke 'em.
and so I did say that I did lose my shit, y'all, and I'm not proud of it. But there are instances where people lose. I removed myself, but I said what I said, and I'm not proud.
I wasn't proud of what I said either about the McDonald's. So, so the moral of the story is like we resonate with this teacher, right? I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's something small, but we don't know her, right?
Yeah.
We don't know her and how she communicates. So
Yeah.
that probably was a lot for her to do that.
Yeah.
So we're all human and things do happen.
Yeah.
But what's the moral of the story?
So I would tell this teacher this, Kansas City, stand up. Girl, apologize to that kid. I know it felt good in the moment, but clearly you're the adult. I think one-on-one is best, and let them know that you blew up. Your version of blowing up, you blew up in front of the class. I would apologize in front of the class and let them know how you messed up. And that you want to like have a space of mutual respect.
Yeah, and giving an apology is always good because that means I respect you, and I'm sorry.
We mess up. Yeah.
If I hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
It wasn't okay.
Yeah.
But so we all have done things like we do not agree with.
Yeah.
But we never choked anybody.
We ain't ever put our hands on nobody.
I
might repeat back what you said. I'm so sorry.
I might. Yeah, but I ain't putting my hands on nobody, so I get it.
Not even my kids. So, episode takeaway. So, like...
today we talked about the advocacy, How do we advocate for kids without losing your job? Clearly that the teacher in Arkansas gonna lose his job. He wasn't advocating for kids.
Yeah. I would say just make sure that you have a strategic... You are strategic when you advocate. I would say your voice matters as the maybe the mediator in the room.
As the educator.
Mm-hmm. Your voice matters, but how you do it is strategic. This is wrong. And then I would say to talk to the student too. To make sure that they understand. Kiss my ass.
It's the Tito's in this.
Talk to the student and make sure we had made a little mimosa, some Tito's and champagne is kind of crazy, but don't do that. We don't condone that either. But talk to the student and let them know, their role in the situation.
Yeah, and just always be respectful when you advocate. Don't go being too assertive, and always think about the kid. Do what's best for kids. So if you see something that's not right, please speak up about it. Say something. Advocacy can look different. Like in education, it can look different. Like I said earlier, it can be the curriculum. It could be the work ethics. It could be behavior. It could be discipline. It could be a lot of different things. And here we just promote. We do what's best for kids.
Yep. And sometimes you fall short, but I think it's always the reflective piece. You got to come back from it.
You do.
So if this episode made you think, reflect, or feel seen, make sure you subscribe and share. It's at the bottom of the screen, okay?
Please
on all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of those things.
And send this to somebody in education who needs to hear it.
Okay. And we will be back with more real conversations.
So until next time,
to Real Dialogue, Chalk and Champagne.
Chalk and Champagne, baby. Yeah.